what are some of the main big differences that you expect to see in this pro gameplay?
If you're going to say that I had a good weekend, you got to let the people know. 29-1, Brandon. 29-1 weekend, especially with a Road to Glory team. I really enjoy the game compared to the last couple of years. I feel like this is super attacking, and I'm big on the skill moves, and I just feel that they're extremely responsive. This far in FIFA 21, we'll see how the year develops because it's different playing casual gameplay and then competitive gameplay. And you never know what's going to happen between patches and adjustments. And as time goes on, the more time that players get with a title, they start to learn all the new intricacies. And this is such a good opener as well, just to add into the mix, is that MOAUBA is such an unconventional player, and then TEKKZ often creates the meta. So when you watch TEKKZ play, that's when a lot of people learn how to have different skill move combinations or what they need to be doing with tactics. TEKKZ is where a lot of players turn to start things out, to really say, oh, this is what I need to adjust, this is what I need to change.
Well, we are underway in this one. If you don't know who is who, of course, TEKKZ in his beloved Liverpool strip from right to left, having to defend his first chance off the game. And as you know, one thing that's back on FIFA 21 is no headers in the box, and it's a routine header from R9 Ronaldo to kick things off there. 6 minutes gone. And that'll be the first goal of the FIFA 21 challenge, Mike Lavelle.
And German pros love some crossing, and in FIFA 21, you now have the option to bring that wing play to life, to convert from the wing play. That was a good beginning. I said there's going to be goals 7 minutes in. We've already seen the opener between TEKKZ and MOAUBA, and you saw a nice cross, wide open, can't miss from there. Pretty simple. I guess tuck it away with the header. And not difficult, but with that being said, last year, a lot of the finishing, when you're looking at the aerial 50-50s or just the aerial pursuit, it was kind of unpredictable. You didn't know what was going to happen. So a lot of players have taken that out of their game at the competitive level because they want sure things. They want to be as efficient as possible with their opportunities.
I mean, as we're looking to sort of talk about their heading back this year for FIFA 21, two very attacking players in MOAUBA and two players that like to flaunt those skill moves in the final third. Obviously, TEKKZ and MOAUBA both clocking out, I think, 60 0s this weekend across different accounts, different consoles. Unfortunately for TEKKZ, we won't talk about his rewards today because for first in the world, Mike, they weren't pretty.
I saw that go down on Twitter. And you're seeing the new dribble there with the bridge dribble. Gives you a bit of a boost of speed. And you're going to see that used frequently between both of these players. It's just a nice way to attack space. And you get rewarded if your opponent is baited or they're just slightly out of position.
Nearly there was a mistake in the back and a bit of miscommunication for TEKKZ to capitalise. Look at TEKKZ's team, though, for the first time today. It is a 4-2-3, what it looks like a CDM partnership of Zidane and Ruud Gullit. Backline, of course, Ferland Mendy keeping his place there. Looks like Vieira back in that sort of back four again. I mean, formation-wise this year, Mike Labelle, where are you going? Is it 4-2-3-1 for you still? The 4-2-2's had a lot of love.
Last weekend, I used the 4-2-3-1. The weekend before that, the 4-2-2. I've always told players and guys that want to get into the competitive thing, you need to have at least two formations that you have mastered. Typically a narrow and a wide formation, just to get a little bit of a different look, or at least a passive and aggressive formation to change the speed of the game. The rhythm is so important in FIFA.
Speaking of rhythm there, fantastic. On the left-hand side from Neymar from TEKKZ. Can we see something here? Lovely little showboat in the box. What skill move hasn't he brought his name on? There's the one more pass. It's absolutely fantastic from TEKKZ.
If that's a preview for the year, Brandon, oh, we're in for a good year. 7, 8, 9 skill moves. You see them chaining and different types of variations and executions. You see the fake Rabona, the ball roll, the fake shot, another pass, a roulette, the bridge dribble. You get a little bit of everything.
Bit of a pick and mix there, wasn't it, in the final third in terms of skill moves? We saw pretty much every skill move in the game off FIFA 21. I mean, you think back to some of those big moments in competitive FIFA back in Atlanta. You saw TEKKZ do that for Elastico. Build up play into a finish chance from MOAUBA, straight from the word go. Keeper's off his line, slight bit of goalkeeper movement. Opened up the chance, and Cristiano Ronaldo in front of goal is always going to be scoring from them. But goals are going in. That's the main thing. That's what I want to see in competitive FIFA. We didn't see it enough last year. A lot of nil-nils, a lot of games going to extra time and penalties. This year's going to be different. I know this is certainly more of a fun environment. You know, this is a charity tournament, but it's great to see attacking FIFA, Mike Labelle.
I want to see attacking FIFA, attacking football. I'm here for it. Very decisive and direct play for the instant rebuttal from MOAUBA. You see the through ball, and something that's different with FIFA 21 compared to last year's installment is when you're beat, you don't get to recover, excuse me. You're not going to have an easy time doing that. There's not as much chase back. Players that have a lot of pace, they're going to create separation.
Just looking across that team for TEKKZ. I said about partnership of Maldini and Vieira. Pretty much icon heavy as you would expect to see. Lovely long ball into Rio and Cruyff. You know what this man could do. Another one of those players that's sort of part of that five-star weak foot club. Talk about that in a little while. Players this year not really pine towards the weak foot, more happy to back a five-star skills move player in those sort of areas. And we saw exactly why for TEKKZ when he's showboating, showing off all these skill moves. You may see a little bit more of it here now. Neymar on this left-hand side, acres of space. Little Lacroqueta, Elastico's back and forth, still in possession, is TEKKZ. Arnhem will help his turn to try and get that ball forward. He was the opening goal scorer. Which did bring the tie, all square, just after 20 minutes. 5 minutes after that, MOAUBA was able to find himself a second in the tie. See some possession stats there, 72% so far to TEKKZ. It's been a lot more counter-attacking from MOAUBA. Really well done. It deserved a goal from TEKKZ.
I mean, just brilliant. Very elaborate play. We're seeing two guys at the top of their game right now, but in different ways of their maximizing or utilizing their build-up play. Much more decisive, much more direct from MOAUBA. You see him looking to get in behind. And then TEKKZ is pulling out every trick in the book. Every single skill move has been on display.
We don't know how the format of the FIFA 21 challenge is working. So we have 4 pros and 4 professional footballers all teaming up this evening. Of course, MOAUBA is with Giovanni Reina of Borussia Dortmund. He's going to be in action against Trent Alexander-Arnold in the second leg of this tie. Chance now for TEKKZ. Last one before the first half does end into one. And can he find that one more pass? Just teasing with the defence. A couple of McGeady spins in there. Still with possession. TEKKZ. That ball was just stuck to R9's feet.
Tell you what, Brandon, he's dancing in the box. He's just waiting. He's trying to play a game of cat and mouse with the defenders. Can I make you reach so I can show you a lesson? You reach, I teach. It's 2-2, and this has been just quality FIFA here as we get close to halftime. Dangerous minute, though, the 45th minute. We know that one well.
Perfect time to score. A perfect way for this first half to conclude. 2-2 at the moment. That looks like it will do us for the first half here. Long ball forward, referee. We're all done for half-time. A quick chance to look at the half-time statistics, but it's what we want to see. The clash of 2 titans, TEKKZ and MOAUBA. Did take the lead on 2 occasions, did the current E-World Cup champion in MOAUBA, but some of the goals, Mike LaBelle, we have to talk about it. TEKKZ is just, in that final third, the combinations that he's been able to create, which, as we know, FIFA 20, you just could not create them. There was the error in the skill moves. You couldn't chain your Elasticos, your Lacroquetas together. It was more of just a simple drag back into a finish. This year, things have changed, and it's great to see just a small snippet of what we could expect to see from TEKKZ this year.
Oh, well, this allows players as well to learn, because you watch your favorite professional player or content creator, you see some of the skills and the combinations, and you're saying, well, how did this happen? Did you learn all this in 1 year? No, it's developed over time. But this year, and you're going to see potentially in the second half some cancellations, you have the ability to cancel out of a lot of skill moves, which then allows you to set up a skill into a cancel purposely, which can give you a competitive advantage. It's going to be a really fun year to watch, and I feel like there's a lot of growth in this year's installment in particular with some of the new details.
Speaking of the FIFA Global Series this year, a year packed of tournaments split across 6 different regions and continents. So many tournaments, so much action, all building into those playoffs come sort of July next year. And then that E-World Cup Grand Final to conclude the year in the end. It plans to be an exciting one. Make sure you follow us for the whole year and the journey ahead. Hello, hello. The rainbow flicks are out.
This is also the best year of the rainbow flick, I would say. Just a lot of skill moves have really made a comeback, or they've been revitalized.
Can we see a skill move here from MOAUBA? Lovely cutback ball, well defended from Furlong Mendy there. Came pretty much across into centre-back. Made short. We'll speak about the lineups because you haven't really had a proper chance to look at how both these two are lining up. It seems like a sort of bog standard 4-2-3-1. Vieira still keeping his place in centre-back. He was a familiar figure in the Summer Cup series that was played out on FIFA 20. It seems like Zidane isn't into that CDM role, Mike.
This is our first look at a lot of these icons being put together as a collective. If we've learned anything, that Mendy is obviously at the icon level because he's still being included when you're looking at the competitive scene. I think it tells you just how special Mendy really is. I've always said he's an anomaly in FIFA, and I'm going to keep that on repeat until proven differently.
He's also had a huge upgrade. Look, you can see the creative runs already maybe potentially being used. There's one from R9. One of the new features for FIFA 21. Oh no, it's a complete scuff finish from Cristiano Ronaldo. And chance goes begging for MOAUBA.
And I hope someone clips that on the stream, but that was a perfect example of being able to use these new off-the-ball runs where MOAUBA was playing the game of who does he want to go to, and he could manually adjust his players on the fly. And that has a lot of room for interpretation and development because it gives you another element that you can add into your gameplay that is completely manual.
It's been a corner for his efforts there, TEKKZ. As we said, this is an aggregate scoreline, so whatever the score is from this game, it will go over to two footballers. Of course, teaming up with our pros today, Trent Alexander-Arnold, partner of TEKKZ, of course a current Liverpool player, up against one of the biggest Liverpool fans you'll find in TEKKZ, and on the other side of that, current first-team footballer, Borussia Dortmund, Giovanni Reina. Lovely ball over the top, he timed that one perfectly. Can R9 get around the defender of Maldini? That's just do enough to hold off the play. He's got to be careful. Maldini out of position for TEKKZ. Switches it into the midfield, Hullet. There's that little double tap dink pass that we were never so familiar with last year on FIFA 20. I mean, how do you go into a game when it's the best of one, Mike, in all honesty? Is it all about just getting an extra goal or two for your teammates so they've got something to hold on to in the second leg?
I think if you're MOAUBA, you have to push for more goals. You need to be utilizing and taking advantage of all your offensive weapons or your offensive expression, which is what this year is really about. Offensive players typically have an advantage in a lot of the scenarios, the 1v1s versus defenders or even versus midfielders. And if you're TEKKZ, I mean, I know TEKKZ doesn't want to drop any games. He wants to put Trent in a advantageous position. But at the same time, you know what Trent's capable of. He's got to be the favorite amongst all the pro footballers that are taking part in this event.
Let's not forget also that Trent was heavily involved in our actual Stay-and-Play Cup that ran on FIFA 20. Did make it into the quarter-finals there, losing to Jesper Kallström of Djurgården, if you can remember that match. Oh my days, TEKKZ take a bow. Hello. Elastico into the finish. And it's an unbelievable finish from TEKKZ with just 15 minutes left on the clock. I mean, that's not a bad way to maybe give your teammates sort of a step up in the second leg.
Are you not entertained? I cannot believe that we're witnessing this. The game's not even been out a month, Brandon. We're dealing with stop, pop, fake shot, elastico, ins, outs, quick turning, L1 dribbling, R1 dribbling, one choose. And then we got to give a lot of credit to MOAUBA as well. He showcased a mastery of new features. A lot of people don't have this in their arsenal, myself included. And I told you I just came off a great weekend league.
It's great to see this just in front of us. Our first taste of competitive FIFA for the FIFA 21 season, and TEKKZ pulling out this in not an easy game at all. There's 15 minutes left. Is there a way back in the tie? As we said, it is into a second leg. Pele, MOAUBA with all to do, with no time left. Lovely cut back, one more into R9. What a block on the line! What's another block from Maldini? Back in the team for another year, and the Italian icon proving his worth in that back line.
I'd like to make a new signing, Brandon, very soon. As in this weekend league, I'd love to have Maldini in my squad.
I can imagine the price tag on him, though. Milo Bell is probably a very expensive player. Speaking of goalkeepers, Petr getting the nod for TEKKZ. It's an interesting one.
Well, I said this early on this year, before the game even came out, that Petr could be very build a goalkeeper-esque in some different ways. He's got the size, he's got the headgear.
That could be a gift of a goal. It's a cheeky chip. Oh, wow, on the line. Who else would it be? It's Ferland Mendy, proving his worth for another year and another season. But an unbelievable cheeky chip from R9.
Thought that was going to be a
Really
curse
well
of the
done.
commentator, Brandon. It's just complimenting Petr Cech. He goes down, the chip goes over. What a save off the line, though.
The only thing I would say, if I had to really pinpoint this performance from TEKKZ, so good going forward, but there's been a couple of leaks at the back. You can see it now. I don't think it's just an overload from MOAUBA. So many green shirts in the final third. Lovely ball forward. Pele, is he onside? It's a clever finish. Is he off? He is just off there, Pele. That could have been the equaliser with just 2 minutes left.
With the pressure play being so overpowered, it's just difficult to see off games.
And to conclude the tie, that's another great chance wasted there. That could have been a 2-goal lead for TEKKZ. And that would have been huge for Trent Alexander-Arnold to take it to his tie. Added time of just a minute left. I think this will do us in our opening game of the FIFA 21 Challenge, and the clash of these two titans. The current E-World Cup champion unfortunately falls to the hands of TEKKZ. 3 goals to 2, but if that's a small taster of what's to come this year on FIFA 21, I don't know about you, Mike, but I can't wait for the season to unfold.